Are you utterly confused and frustrated with all the contradictory dietary advice out there? Have no clue what you're supposed to eat anymore? I get it. When I was sick about 30 years ago, I read a lot of books about health and healing and nutrition, and I had many that contradicted themselves. Some said, ooh, eat lots of sprouts. Other ones said, no, you gotta eat lots of beef, etc., etc. Here it is 30 years later, and I think the situation is even way worse for all of you than it was for me. But I get how frustrating and confusing it is. Back when I was sick, I would have done and did do anything it would take, including radically changing my diet, anything it would take to get better. So it was really annoying and frustrating to not know what I should be doing. And I get that a lot of you are in that place right now. I'm going to try to help to clarify why you are so confused. I'll do a few videos on this topic, so I'm not going to cover all of the reasons why you're confused, but I'm going to start with one big concept to try to help you start to unravel that confusion and have the confidence of knowing what you should be eating, and why, more importantly, this unique healing program will ultimately automatically get you to a place where you do eat a healthy diet. The problem is that, or one of the big problems and one of the big reasons you're confused is because so much of the books and information and studies that you read are measuring symptoms and blood test results. So they will say if you eat a certain way, you will have better cholesterol, lower liver enzyme levels, better TSH levels, you'll lose weight, feel better, have less headaches, less allergies, less asthma, you name it, etc. So we focus on that. And when you eat a food and your symptoms and or blood tests get better, what happens is you are wrongly led to believe that that food then has made you healthier. And that is not true whatsoever. What you've got to start looking at, if you're going to listen to me or any other books or studies, is you've got to stop looking at just symptoms and blood test results, but you've got to look at more important, more relevant variables like death from heart disease, cancer, and other problems. So not just, some people might say, oh, you're going to have less heart disease if you follow my diet. That's irrelevant. What you want to look at the mortality statistics, the rates of death of people following these programs. This is why there's so much confusion. Because in a simple sense, the more chicken, beef, turkey, and other animal proteins you eat, the more death there is from disease. So you've got people writing books saying, hey, that stuff's not good for you, stay away from it. But on the other hand, the more carbohydrates you eat, even though you have less death and disease, the more grains, rice, yogurt, milk, fruit, etc. that you eat, when you are not healthy, that can cause your symptoms, your weight, your blood test to get worse. And you are then again led to believe that that information about eating less meat is wrong, because as soon as you do that, you have more symptoms and bad blood tests. I know I'm probably confusing you more, and I apologize. Let me say, if you haven't done so already, you're going to find out a lot more about this concept in my first book, Unique Healing, especially in Chapter 5. If you've read it once, there's no way you're going to understand this concept. If you've read that chapter 10 times, probably by then you will have a pretty good feel of what I'm talking about. And you need to understand this dietary component for you to exceed or to succeed, if you will, in healing your bowel and body and getting to that amazing place where you have no symptoms, you look great, feel great, don't have disease or addictions without the crutches, without having to diet, exercise, take a bunch of supplements, etc. So to get to that point where you live a long, high-quality life, you've got to understand this concept. I would suggest you read Chapter 5 of my book 10 times. If you're still confused, at that point is probably a good time to contact me for a consultation, and I'll help figure out why you're still getting confused. You'll find a little more information in my second book as well, Unique Healing too, but especially in this first book, Chapter 5 and Chapter 9 actually. So those two chapters, Chapter 5 and Chapter 9, read them 10 times minimally to understand this. So, as you should know by now, here's the problem. When you eat more carbs, fruit, and high glucose, high glycemic foods, whatever one someone wants to describe them at, They are healthy. Those are low acid foods. Those do not bring a lot of new acids into your blood or into your organs, and that's good. How you retain health, and by and large, is a product of the amount of acidity in your body. You don't want a lot of acidity coming in through your diet. That high carb, high fruit diet is a low acid diet. But the problem with that diet is it stirs up the existing acids that are stuck in your organs and causes them to dump into your blood and bowel. And when they're not being eliminated correctly, then you have an increase of symptoms, some weight problems, bad blood tests. And when those things get worse, you are then again wrongly led to believe that you've just done something wrong and harmful diet-wise. It's not true. If you react badly as far as your weight symptoms or blood tests by eating carbs or a high glycemic or high carb diet, it's because your bowel and body are not healthy. Period. That's the cause. With this program, you will be able to eat these foods and not feel lousy and have horrible blood tests. For some of you, if you're working with me especially and doing this aggressively, you'll find very quickly in the first couple of weeks of doing this, you can add in carbs and still feel and look great. For some of you who are just following the book or going more slowly, it might take 1 or 2 years before you get to that point, but at least you will one day get to that point. On the other hand, chicken, beef, turkey, etc. are highly acidic, so they're not healthy. They increase the acids coming into your body. The thing is, though, they tend to increase the acids that are stuck in the organs, which is what causes death from many diseases like heart disease, cancer, etc. But remember, as you will know from reading my books, the acids in the organs do not cause a lot of symptoms, weight problems, and do not cause your blood test to look bad. Okay? So carbs, fruits are healthy, but until you are healthy, they can trigger problems. This is why you're so confused. You all are, again, led to believe that just if your symptoms, your weight, your blood tests are doing something on a diet, that means that diet is bad for you if things are worse. That's not true. That's not true. The solution to this, how do you get to a point where you can eat this diet that zillions of studies have shown when you eat more carbs, you're going to live a lot longer? How do you get to that type of diet without it triggering bad blood tests, symptoms, weight problems? You heal your bowel and body with this program, period. I encourage you to read both my books over and over and over again until you get this. This is a complicated program in that it is radically different than anything else, and it challenges so many things that you think and have been led to think are true. It takes a lot of reading and time and commitment to really understand how this works. If you put in the time and effort and commitment, you'll get amazing, amazing results. If you need any more help, please feel free to contact me for an appointment. You can find information on that on my website at www.uniquehealing.com. And as I said earlier, keep a watch out because I will do several more videos on this dietary confusions concept. I hope that helped.